Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me once again to Can We Talk About It, where we do talk about the elephant in the room. Before I go any further, I want to let you guys know that instead of second and third Mondays, I'm going to have to go back to just the third Mondays just for a little while. I'm having some medical problems and I need to get those taken care of. So you'll just have to deal with me for the one day of the month. Please just be patient with me. I'm trying to get some things taken care of. I do enjoy doing what I do, and I'm just so glad you guys call in, and I'm glad that you tune in for the things that I say. The things that I say, I really want to use these things to make my community better and to maybe try to reach somebody. Like I said, I feel like if I reach somebody to be better today than they were yesterday, I've done my job. So I want to give a shout out to Sister Iva. She was in my theology class. She finished up last semester. I finished up this semester, but we graduate in the same class. So hi, Sister Iva. Sister Renee Faith. Hey, girl, I love you. And I want to give a shout out to Jennifer, that who works at Carmano's Valet. Uh, she's a really good person, and Carmanos have a great valet parking. I think Harper Hospital, or 4160 John Arrow, whatever that is. Those people down there, I cannot remember. They gave me the name of that place, but I cannot remember the name of it. These people are so uh, they have no respect for your cars, your vehicles. They search your things. Now I've put cameras in my truck to make sure nobody wasn't going in there. I've taken pictures of my gas tank, and they've and seen that they've taken my truck off their lot and drove it. So when you take your cars, your automobiles to these valets, make sure you get the mileage. Try to find you some little tape recorder or something to put in your car, because these people will tear your car up, and these are the ones who hire them. These companies don't care, and these are things that we really need to be dealing with. But I just wanted to talk about that because that really like pissed me off. I want to say hi to my auntie Joyce, my cousin Lisa. We just got back together maybe about a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago. So hey, Lisa. Hi, Auntie Joyce. I love you so much. I also want to say hi to Ivan at Players Shop. I think it's a liquor store, or Players Liquor Store on West Chicago and Schaefer. I also want to give a shout out to Sheila, shout out to Sharon and Haji, a shout out to James. Wherever you are, take care of yourself. Continue to do what you're doing. I'm proud of what you're doing for yourself, and I'm there for you, big brother. One more person that I have to give a shout out to. That's Sister Florence. She's one of my classmates, and she is so sweet. And sometimes I be running around all day, and by the time I go to class, I may have not eaten anything. So she's been such a blessing. Her and brother Mark, they bring little munchies and stuff, and they allow me to munch with them. So thank you so much for that. So today, what I want to talk about is the church. And like I said, it always leads to the church. I want to talk about the church. I want to talk about the heads of the church. And I want to talk about how my soul is so vexed. I really feel like the Lord is soon to come. It's not going to always be this way. We're always saying that the Lord is coming, the Lord is coming. Yeah, the Lord is coming. But what I want to talk about is people in hierarchy, mainly the pastor, because these are the people who watch for your soul. And I just feel like because of things that's going on, I'm not getting the spiritual food that I should get. I It seemed like I'll go to a church and everybody's preaching the same thing. It's either a feel good message or somebody with their feelings on their sleeves. And I'm so tired of listening to pastors who's got attitudes with other folks and they wear their feelings on their sleeve and then they want to put that in their message. Don't nobody want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear, oh, these people done did me this way and they didn't. Look, I feel like this. Now, I know my pastor was talking about some stuff at our Bible class as far as Jezebel. Okay, I want to tell some of you pastors, some of you so-called men of God, Jezebel is not just a woman. Some of you pastors got Jezebel in you. You sit up, you wear your feelings all on your sleeves. Men are supposed to be problem solvers. Women are the nurturers. Women are the ones with the feelings. That's why we are supposed to be covered by our father or our husband, not know any man or any, it makes me so angry when pastors tell women, I'm your covering. No, you're not. You're not. The way God intended that to be is you go from living with your father to living with your husband. People talk about, well, I want to be somebody. You ain't supposed to be being somebody. You're supposed to be being a wife. The covering. A covering is the covering from a husband to a wife or a father to a daughter. Now, I want to talk about this Jezebel thing because I'm really trying to hold my tongue because I really want to be very, very blunt with this. But I'm sick of these mealy mouth men with these feelers that they not supposed to ever have, just a woman. And I'm getting tired of going to church and somebody's trying to get back at somebody else from the pulpit, and now I can't get my message because somebody got it in their head because I'm the man, because I'm the head of this, and maybe even some women too. But the reason I never speak on women pastors, because women are not supposed to be the head of men. And I'm not saying I don't believe in women pastors. I believe in women that preach the gospel, but I don't believe in women pastoring churches. I believe it's a perverted order and it should not be done like that. So let me get back to the men with Jezebel in them. I'm tired of you pastors. I'm so tired of y'all just putting everybody to the side. The shepherd is supposed to be there to take care of the sheep. The shepherd is supposed to be there to watch over the sheep. The shepherd is supposed to be there to guide the sheep. The shepherd is supposed to be there to pray for the sheep. How can you do anything when you're physically arguing and fighting with people that really shouldn't matter to you? So when you do this, all of the babes in the church, all of the so-called seasoned saints and saints like myself that want to learn, we get put on the back burner because in your eyes, God's message ain't as important as your feelings being hurt. All you sensitive pastors need to get a grip. They didn't like Jesus. They treated him wrong. They talked about him, and he still kept a loving attitude. I'm tired of listening to the preachers telling people they going to hell when they're the ones that's really going to hell if they don't get their lives in order. I'm tired of preachers using the Bible to try to make people feel like if you don't do nothing for me, God is going to get you. No, God is going to get you for using him. Now, I go to church so I can learn about the Lord. Now, I'm going to be truthful. A lot of y'all already know this. I can be very rebellious when I want to. When I get something stuck in my head, it's not a matter of respect. Because I know the scriptures say that we are supposed to respect those who have the rule over us, in other words. And we are not supposed to openly rebuke an elder or a pastor, not unless you've been, you went to this person and tried to talk to this person and the person wasn't listening to you. So it just makes me upset to where when there are pastors that do need to be openly rebuked, and then you ask to see them and they don't want to see you, that's terrible. How can you ever say that you a man of God when, one, you preach love but you don't practice it? Two, you supposed to be humble and you're not. Three, if you're a man of God, I don't care. I had one person tell me, now I was asking them to donate to my charity. I was asking this particular pastor to donate to my charity, and they said they would. And you know, I'm like, what's going on, Pastor? You're supposed to. When you gonna donate to my broadcast? He was like, well, I'm not getting any money. I say, well, okay, well, that's the thing right there. We're going to stop it right there. If your word don't mean nothing, then you don't mean nothing. Who wants to be around a bunch of folks that don't want to have a one-on-one with them? They word ain't worth nothing. They'll only keep their word to people they feel comfortable keeping their word with. If you are a shepherd, and I've said this before, you have to love the whole flock. It's not your flock, it's God's flock. You are not God. You're supposed to be a man of God. I'm tired of you men, of so-called men of God, going to these churches. You get in there, you play like you just so humble. When you see things you don't like, you under the table snooty and snotty and sneaky with it. Then you want to get in front of everybody and act like, oh, I've been so wronged. I know a man of God is supposed to move out the way and let God be the one who vindicates him. A lot of you pastors don't do that. When y'all can't get y'all way, a lot of you pastors use you put hands on folks when you're not supposed to. And this is the biggest one of all. If you don't like what's going on here, you can leave. No, you can leave. How you gonna come to somebody's church and somebody wants to talk to you and you gonna tell them if they don't like it, they can leave? No, you can leave. The problem didn't start until you got there. I'm so fed up with these men of God. They don't teach creation roles, how men and women should stay married. They don't teach that. But they'll sit up and try to do the overlay for the underplay. They'll put your business out over the pulpit with something. Well, you women and men, y'all know who you is. Excuse me. Sleeping with each other and this, that, and the other. Okay, they do know who they are. But you trying to make them feel bad, it's not going to help their spirit any. If you preach on creation role, maybe you can help somebody. If you preach on adultery, maybe you'll help somebody. If you put the 10 Commandments in your church where the children can see it, maybe you can help somebody. I've been to, last year, I've been to maybe 10 churches, and none of the churches, excuse me, none of the churches have the 10 Commandments in them. You know why? Because the government gives them grant money. So as long as you're getting grant money, as long as your church is getting grant money from the government, certain things can't be done in that church. They can't preach creation role. They can't preach on adultery. They can't preach on young boys coming into church with their pants hanging all off their butt. God was the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. You pastors come out here talking about we're trying to reach the youth. God can reach the youth. Just do what he told you to do. I'm tired of folks. There's pastors that tell you, well, nobody should be in your business and you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't let nobody. Let me tell you something. We are all workers and helpers one of another. And for a pastor to tell you that what somebody else is doing, that's your brother and sister in Christ, whether it be bad or terrible, I ain't even going to say good. Well, I am. Bad, terrible, good. You are supposed to either praise them or convict them for the things that they're doing. We're all brothers and sisters in Christ. I hate when they bring so-called men of God up to the pulpit for these feel-good messages, but they're not doing anything to convict folks to turn back to the Lord. And where there is no vision, the people perish. Now I'm talking to all my brothers and sisters, whether you be white, yellow, brown, Chinese, Mexican, it doesn't matter. If you are a Christian, please study the word for yourself. Do not stop studying the word, because these pastors with these feel good sermons, let me tell you something. There's a lot of people say, okay, well, I trust my pastor, and pastor, his word is law. Now y'all done turned some man that's supposed to be a man of God into an idol. I've seen people tell folks, I bet nobody mess with my fast pastor. I jump on them. And the pastor is condoning this. There's police officers in the church in this mess. The pastor's job is not to get a bunch of henchmen that's supposed to be deacons, or get police officers that's supposed to be saints of God in the church. You don't surround yourself with people like you the one. In Jesus' name, I'm going to get this message out. Who are you? Some pastor walking around and they supposed to have a bunch of people with them like, this is my bodyguard. And the bad thing about it is, you worried about what somebody in the church is going to do. You got a bodyguard for people in the church. I'm going to continue to talk on this until somebody gets it in their head that this ain't cool. It ain't cool for pastors to fool people. It's not cool for pastors to put themselves in the place of the Lord. It's not cool for pastors to act like they're on your side and they're not. It's not cool for pastors to turn babes away. If your life is that messed up to where you can't take care of your flock, then you don't need to be a pastor. You really don't need to be a pastor. Every time I turn around, there was a pastor that had came to our church and he was preaching. He looked at like Slick Rick to me, but I'm like, you don't judge a book by its cover. So he kind of looked a little like my brother, and I'm like trying to talk to him about the Lord. He too busy trying to GQ and look around and see what woman he could talk to. You know what I did? I snatched my hand back from him and told him, you are not of God. You know what he did? Come here, let me talk to you. So, no, ain't no talk to me. Once you show me your filthy stains, then I don't want to have nothing to do with you. We're all children of the Most High, even the pastors. But there's a rank that we follow, and if you call yourself being a man of God or being a shepherd of the Lord, it ain't no you. Aren't we supposed to die daily? So that means the pastor actually don't have a life. Because he's supposed to die daily and die for the shepherd, for the sheep. If your sheep are going crazy and scattered all abroad, what kind of pastor does that make you? When you say, well, I don't care about this group of people, but I sure care about this group of people, what kind of pastor does that make you? You're supposed to be loving in and out of season. Not just when it's convenient for you. It's just amazing to me how people just they just follow anything that they listen to. I want to tell you something. A lot of people don't even believe in the devil. Some people think that the devil is a thought. And I feel so bad for these people, because the devil is just as real as me and you. When God said he created Satan as an angel of light, And a lot of us look for some guy with a pitchfork and a tail to come and like he's going to scare the bejesus out of you. No, when he come, he going to come to you as the most beautiful thing in the world, or to try to be so humble until he gets you. Now, I want to ask a congregation, any congregation, it really doesn't matter. It's whoever gets it, whoever gets me. How can you be in a church for all your life and know somebody in the church for all your life and have somebody come in and separate you from your sister, brother, whoever it may be? Why would you let somebody come in and tear you from someone that you probably trusted with your life before Devil the Ripper came through? I wish that people would, you know what, I want to cry so bad. I want you guys to get this. We have to study for ourselves. Saints of God, don't let a man tear your church up. If there's people that's been knowing each other 30, 40, 50 years, come back together and talk. In my opinion, you are just as stupid for letting somebody come between you like that. Half of the people in the church don't even have their own mind. They're so busy running up under somebody, picking up their poop, they ain't got time to even check out their own. You so busy smelling somebody else's stank to where you need to make sure your stank ain't out of order. I want to have a mentor. I want to have a pastor that's going to listen to me. I don't need no man judging me, or because he's in his feelings, I just don't have time to talk because I'm in my feelings. Get your life in order. What you mean I just can't talk? If Jesus felt that way, we'd all be in hell. We all be in hell right now. There's a lot of things that I don't be wanting to do, but I do because it's for the betterment of the kingdom. And sometimes it's for the betterment of myself. One of my faults is, well, I don't know if it's a fault or not, but I don't have time for stupidity. I have zero tolerance for ignorance. And when you lie to me, I have no problem coming to you in your face and saying you are a liar. I need to be led. We all need someone to talk to. And at this point in my life, because of all the crap, I don't really trust church folks. I've always had problems with them. Right when I feel like I'm about to start trusting and loving and being whole again, here come another devil tearing up some stuff. There's a lot of people that want to live this life the right way, but the leadership is so jacked up. You so busy worried about you when you're supposed to be worried about God's kingdom. You sit on the pulpit or wherever you are on your high horse and talk about how a person is this and how a person is that. But then when you do something, it's like, well, I'm only human. We all are human. We are all human. And stop using the Bible for convenience for when you feel a certain way. Because contrary to popular belief, don't think that you're the only person God can use. And a lot of us get in ourselves thinking, nobody can do this but me. Then you get around people that don't know nothing about you or what you've done to folks. oh, I got this going on over here, and these people don't like me, and that people don't like me. Trust me, it has nothing to do with you and your holiness. So if you guys, and I'm talking to the sheep, people tell you if you don't like what's going on here, then leave and this, that, and the other. Now I'm definitely about to say this. If you've been in the church 40, 50 years all your life, and some man come into your church saying he's a man of God and he's ripping it to sunder, ain't no need in telling this man anything, because he's going to tell you you should go somewhere else. No, you shouldn't go nowhere else. You should stay there and fight for what you believe in. Now, I know a lot of churches that was doing great. They was doing good. There are some churches, their pastor was sick, then their pastor passed. They were going through all kinds of stuff, but they held themselves together. They were still a loving family, and everything was good. Somebody comes from the outside, which they should all the honorable pastors that's in a church after another pastor dies, I feel like it's wrong. It's just wrong to go outside that church and get an outsider when you get capable men of God in the church. So I'm going to say it like this. If you so-called men of God don't get your act together, I promise you the Lord is going to put you on the spot. I promise you God is going to show all your dirty laundry if you don't just throw the laundry in the washing machine and let it wash. He ain't going to throw it in the washer for you. He going to throw it on the floor for everybody to see it. Now I know there's some pastors, young pastors, that probably went to a church or whatever, and they got beside themselves, and maybe they feel like there's no way they can turn back and make things right between them and the people that's going on. With God, all things is possible. With you, nothing is possible. Just because people say, I'm a man, I'm a woman of God, don't mean they know everything. Then when somebody get in their butt, that's when they say, well, I don't know it all. Everybody knew that when they met you, that you didn't know it all. People, please pray for me, because my patience is running real thin when it comes to the saints, the so-called saints of God. My patience is running real thin when you get these men that's more into money and their wives, more into money and shopping than they are taking care of God's people. Now, Elijah, some of the prophets, they had people that was wealthy, and Jesus was wealthy. But he wasn't wealthy down here, and I'm not saying that just because you're a pastor that you shouldn't have no money in your pocket, but you shouldn't be acting like you, look, there's not kings over here in the United States. You're just a pastor, which means servant. So I got to go, people. And on that note, please, y'all, stay strong.